Hello. So I have a different resource packs here, and my main one is over here at the top. Then I have two add-ons, so to speak, and one is for shaders, and it's actually called bump mapping. So it kind of calculates, so it does a bump map of different textures, like curvatures and hills and valleys and stuff, and it creates a specific texture for that. And when you use shaders, for example SEUS shaders, it looks pretty good actually. It looks kind of funny. It gives kind of a 3D effect on the textures, but bump mapping doesn't work with all shaders. So far I've tested a couple, and the only one that works right now is the SEUS shaders. And then I have an add-on pack here, which is just a mod textures, or textures for mods. But the one I'm going to show right now is the shaders. And if I actually go into options right now in video and shaders, right now I have the Silder's enhanced default. I also have SEUS and the CUDA stuff. And yeah, it looks like this. And there is no bump mapping. Everything looks a little bit flat. So the same thing over here. If you look at the sort of cobblestone things here, so if you look at the sides, you know, it's completely flat over here, even though I have the bump mapping. So the shader need to support bump mapping. So let's see if I actually switch to SEUS shaders, and I'm just going to give you a warning here. The frame rate is going down the hill because SEUS is very demanding, and I have an old graphics card, and I will get about between 10 and 20 frames per second with SEUS shaders. And now it's loaded. And now you can see there are, especially the grass, it's more textured. And that's what the bump mapping do. Even though you look at the side here, you know, it's pretty flat, but it looks more 3D. So yeah, I get 30 frames per second here almost. So it's actually a pretty cool effect. But I actually have some issues with the bump maps. It has to do with lighting. You see, kind of looks kind of weird here. You know, the stairs here look very sharp, but right here is kind of washed out. Same thing with the grass, start to look a little bit weird, like over here. And this is not really bad at the moment, but if I go over here, yeah, and you see over here as well on the wooden planks, they look a lot more 3D. If I go over here, you see an issue. You see this is the grass block, and this is the dirt. So it looks kind of, the grass, it's only the top grass that looks a little bit shade, but not, it's flat there, but it looks a bit weird actually. The only time it looks somewhat good is actually when you are in, yeah, the frame rate is really bad. A little bit in dark areas, it's not that pronounced, but you see it looks kind of weird. And here you see the pathway as well. And yeah, over here it looks pretty good actually. If I go over here, so yeah, it looks pretty good. And if I actually go to my mine here, yeah, I know the frame rate is super bad. You see the stone textures, it looks really cool. Looks kind of okay over here. Looks a little bit weird over here, but it looks pretty cool actually. But as soon as I get over here, you see over here, it's a lighting, weird lighting issue. Same thing if I go in here, you see the ore, looks kind of weird. So it's the bump mapping actually works, but it's kind of the lighting that actually looks a bit weird. So if I actually go into resource pack and remove the shaders or the bump mapping, it's going to take a little while here. Here we go. And now it looks pretty normal. There are still some weird lighting issues, but that might be the issue with SEUS or whatever. So yeah. So if I go up again, you see I don't have the texture. It looks very flat again. Same thing over here, the pathway and the grass looks kind of flat. Same thing with the planks, they look kind of flat. So if I actually go in and add the shaders again, just turning them down there. Takes a while to load because I have high resolution. And now you see they are a lot more detailed. Same thing with the grass and the pathway. And here you see kind of weird lighting issues. It looks kind of a bit weird, but it looks kind of cool. It doesn't seem to work on plants and stuff. Mostly blocks like this. So yeah, it looks pretty cool actually. And of course your texture pack need to support it, and also the shader need to support it. So you see it looks a little bit more 3D. Well, the shaders works with the bump mapping. So yeah, there are lighting issues. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And let's see if I actually build. Yeah, no, starting to lag here. Oops, wrong key. And if I take stone, some granite, diorite, andesite, and let's see if we have some ore. Let's take some ore and just place down, for example, and it gives kind of the same effect. Let's place some ores around here as well, and some stone between here. So yeah, and let's just cover this up with another layer like this. God, this frame rate. Holy crap. My graphics card is dying. I'm going to show you a little bit glitches with bump mapping. It's not always perfect. Alright, so let's just add some stuff there and add some torches. Where are you, torches? So yeah, looks kind of good like this. Even the ore looks pretty good on the back side, like this. But on the front side, you start to see that the ore may differ a little bit. So it looks slightly different. Same thing if I actually add some, let's see, lapis over here. So you see it looks a bit weird. It's not the same texture really. And if I put torches here on the back, for example over here, like this, you see the lighting effect. It starts to look kind of weird. But still, it's a pretty cool effect. And of course, if I change, for example, I still have the shaders here, the bump map. But if I actually just change the shaders, for example, to the enhanced default, you will see the difference. And that's because the shader need to have bump mapping support. I know SEUS have it, but the other ones that I have doesn't have support for it. And you see it's back to normal. Looks kind of flat. So I don't know, I don't think I will use bump mapping. And one reason is for I need to have SEUS shaders for it to work. And SEUS just kills my graphics card. Now I got a decent frame rate again. But the grass looks a bit flat as well. The same thing over here. Looks normal, the dirt and grass. So yeah. And over here it should also be, for example, if I change to SEUS again, if you look at the grass, it looks a bit weird. Yeah, like over here you see around the light looks a bit weird. Looks pretty good over here, you know. Looks pretty cool and stuff. But yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I have a big mob farm over there. Otherwise, it's pretty cool. So that's bump mapping for you. Kind of fun to play around with. So see you later.